Okay, good afternoon. Today we're going to do a demonstration of how we clean windows at an actual customer's house. We're going to go over the equipment, tools, basic do's and don'ts. We're going to talk about how to evaluate a job, the best way to get a job done as quickly and efficiently as possible. Initially, when you arrive at a job site, I always look at the house as soon as I pull up, and I'm evaluating it almost immediately. What type of windows are they? How big is the house? Anything that I can think of that's going to help me get a game plan together as to how I'm going to do the job. Initially, when you're going to show up at the house, you're going to put your yard sign out in front. You're going to get your paperwork together, and you're going to greet the customer to inform them that you are here and discuss with them what services you're going to be providing, how you're going to go about it, and we're going to walk through this step by step. So initially, we're going to talk about the vehicle itself. We're going to talk about the equipment. So let's just get started with that. Every day at Squeegee Pros, we go to the office, we get our equipment together, we have our assignments, and we take off and go to the customer job site. We are always fully loaded and capable of doing pressure washing, window cleaning, gutter cleaning, whatever you might happen to be doing for the day. As you can see, this is a small truck. There's a lot of equipment involved. So we need to have the truck as neat and organized as possible. It's good to just be able to keep track of the equipment. Not only, it's more professional if your truck is clean and organized. I always tend to have far more equipment than I need. I've got a huge bag of rags and towels here. Sometimes you might be on a job that could be $500 or $600, which would require a lot of rags and towels. Other times it might only be $100, $150. We're going to go through the window tools. When you are hired, you will be assigned a multiple sizes of each one of the tools needed. These are all scrubbers, window scrubbers. Obviously small, medium, next to large, and then an 18-inch. Same thing with the squeegees. You will have multiple sizes depending upon what the job is to help you to get the job done as quickly as possible. Along with, you'll have shoe covers, Textronics cloths, which work very well doing the edges of the glass. Always make sure you have a first aid kit in your truck. The company does provide it for you. Okay, your appearance is very important when it comes to greeting a customer. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. If you've been pressure washing and your t-shirt looks like this, you do not want to greet a customer with your shirt looking like this. You want to look presentable, you want to look professional. Always make sure before you enter the house you either remove your shoes or you put shoe covers on. You're also going to have a scraper in your arsenal of tools. You have a wristband. You will have extra rubbers for your squeegees if you need them. You will also have extra single edge razor blades and extra scraper blades. So let's talk about that real quick. Your wristband, this is an extremely important tool. It's really great to have. You would put this on just like you would a watch. You just slip it through like this, put it on your wrist, and it's Velcro. It has a little hole in it right here so that you can grab the blade. Okay, now in this particular case, I don't know if you can see this or not, but this razor blade is rusty. You do not want to use a rusty razor blade, whether it's a single edge blade or a large 6-inch blade. So this right here, I will throw this. I'm going to put it in here for now. I normally put it in my ashtray. Your scraper. You are not to use this scraper on a house without getting a scratch waiver signed. Sometimes you could be dealing with tempered glass. Sometimes the windows could actually even be tinted. You want to be very careful to be able to recognize a window that is tinted. If you use this or any blade on a tinted window, you're going to ruin it. Not a good thing. Okay, so this is your 6-inch scraper. To put a blade on it, this sleeve just comes right out. Okay, as you can see here, this blade was left in this scraper and it is rusty. When you have a blade that is rusty, it needs to be discarded. These scraper packages right here have a section where you can put the old blade so that it does not You don't want to put it in your truck loose. These razors are very sharp. They will cut you. So in order to install a new one, if you're going to use it, you just want to put it in here. It's got little tabs that it fits right into. Slide it back into the sleeve all the way through, and make sure you put your cover back on it. These covers actually lock on, and it takes a little effort to get them off. Okay, now we're not going to use this today, so I'm going to remove it. Seeing how I'm not going to use it, I'm going to put this back into the package so we can use it at another time. These razors are also very expensive. Always keep your razors and your scraper blades in the cab of your truck. You do not want them exposed to the weather. Okay, back to appearance. You definitely do not want to show up at a customer's house with this shirt on. Keep shirts like this for when you're doing pressure washing. We do use hydrochloride. This is what happens to it. Always keep a clean shirt whenever you're going to do a window job to greet the customer. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more about appearance. As you can see, I've got a brand new shirt on, which does not have the bleach stains all over it. Same thing right down to being clean shaven. You know, look presentable. Never get a second chance to make a first impression, especially when it comes to a customer. Anyways, we're going to talk a little bit more here about tools. In the field, we do a lot of window cleaning. These tools right here are kind of old school tools. They were the kind that I learned with. These tools actually belong to my dad. I've been using them ever since. We're going to talk about the rubbers. A lot of times these squeegees all have these rubbers in them. Now these rubbers come in multiple sizes. This one right here just happens to be an 18-inch that would go in a squeegee this size. Okay, it's 18-inch for 18-inch squeegee. The 18-inch squeegee on a residential level you have very little use for this tool. Okay, we still have it, but we don't use it much for residential. Normally what I would do when it comes to changing rubbers, when they start to get worn out, these aren't as bad. This one right here is, what'll happen is the edges of these rubbers will get ground down some so that they end up getting rounded. I don't know if you can tell, but this is very sharp on the end. Here's a brand new one. Okay, there's not a lot of difference. This is actually a rubber that's in pretty good shape, but we're going to change it anyways just to show you how. What I like to do, now I've got 3 sizes here. Instead of using this big one, initially trying to cut it up, I'm going to take this one out of here, and you just pull the rubber out. It has little clips on it. Some of the newer squeegees have the clips that lock right into the handle. I just like these type of tools. So we're going to pull this one out. We're not going to discard this rubber. We're going to use this again. What happens with these rubbers is they tend to wear out on the ends, but the center of the rubber still stays quite sharp and quite usable. So I'm going to take this one, I'm going to put it into the smaller one, okay? But first I'm going to take this one out of here. So you just pull it out, take the clip off, put it down, take the rubber out. We're going to take this one apart. This is just to use the equipment to maximum efficiency. Now I will take the next smallest one to replace this one. I'm going to put it through so that I can just trim it on both edges. Put the clip on, slide it into the channel so that it's flush. Same thing with the other side. 2 clips are not necessary for something this small, but I use them anyways. Put this on, and you're going to stretch the rubber a little bit and then pinch it to get it in. You want the rubber to be straight and even. You don't want it to be buckled in any way. Okay, it's got to be straight and tight. And then I'm going to get a brand new single edge blade. And do not throw any garbage in a customer's yard, in their driveway, anything. Always contain it. We're going to take this and I'm going to cut it. You want to cut this very quickly and straight. And if you use a new blade, it's not difficult at all. Just put it down on a flat surface, push down on it, take your scrap, throw it into a container, and as you can see, the rubber just comes over the edge of the channel, and we'll discuss that later on as to what the benefit to that is. So we got the small one is changed. Now I'm going to use the next size to go to the next one. Slip the rubber through the channel. Always bring it all the way through, because like I said, it gets worn out on the ends, but the center of it still stays nice. Pop a clip on. Push it in. Make sure it's flush. Do both sides before you attempt to cut it. Sometimes I like to hold it and pull the rubber and then push it in. Okay, so you can see the rubber is still straight. It has to be straight or it will not work properly. Get our blade on a flat edge. Cut it. And you can see that I've cut it straight, not on any kind of an angle, and it sticks out just a little bit over the edge. Now this is a brand new rubber, so instead of cutting it halfway, I'm going to use this one right to the edge because it's brand new, so I don't want to discard any more of it than I have to. I'm going to push it in. Now unfortunately that is not going to be enough to put on a different handle, but sometimes that's just the way it works out. Now we're going to trim it. Cut it. Take your scrap, throw it in your bucket. Okay, so now you've got all brand new rubbers and all of your tools. Okay, so we talked about ladders a little bit. Let's talk some more. These right here are what they call stackable ladders. I personally prefer these type of ladders over the extension ladders that most guys actually use nowadays. The benefit to these is that they're easier to maneuver, even whether it's outside of the house or if you have to go inside for cathedral work. These ladders are actually really nice. And I'm just going to demonstrate really quick how these go together. Because they are stackable, one goes on top of another. So what I like to do is I'll hold it and put my foot on it, and I pick one up and lock it right into the next one. Not too many people use these ladders anymore. I'm just pointing this out because I don't have extension ladders with me. I prefer these. That pretty much covers the equipment and everything. What we're going to do is we're going to get the paperwork. We're going to go greet the customer, discuss what we're going to be doing for the customer today, and we're going to tour the house to be able to determine what kind of equipment we need to get the insides of the house done, and we will be cleaning screens as well. So let's get together and let's go do that. Okay, so I've got my paperwork and I know what I'm going to be doing for this customer. So we're going to greet the customer and we're going to show you how we approach a customer when it comes to doing a job. Good afternoon, Miss Fox. Hi, Bill from Squeegee Pros.
Hi, Bill. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Pleasure. Okay, so listen, I've got a work order to clean the windows for you.
Yes.
And let's see. We're just going to need to take a walk through the house if it's okay, and just let me take a look and see what I'm going to need for equipment, and we'll try to get this done for you as quick as we can.
Okay, come on in.
Remove your shoes or put on shoe covers before you enter a customer's house. So we're going to do your windows inside and out, and you've got some select screens that you want to have done as well.
Yes.
Okay. All right, what I'd like to do is we're just going to open all the blinds. This right here could be an issue for us because they are blocking the windows.
Okay.
Let's see. Now these two won't be a problem for me. It actually looks like this one right here looks like it might have a breech seal. Also, look at this. There's a big scratch right here. See that scratch? All right, let's see if we have any more.
What does a breached seal mean?
Well, if you stand on this angle and look at this one and see how clear it is, if you look at that one, it's kind of hazy.
Okay.
Okay. Usually what happens with that is it will get worse over time, What's going to basically happen is that I won't be able to get it as clean as the rest of them.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so you'll notice that it's going to look foggy, just so you're aware.
Okay.
Okay, so anyways, we got a scratch here. There's also appears to be a lot of overspray on this window, and we will have to scrape these windows in order to get that off for you. Now, looking right here too, Miss Fox, I don't know if you want to look at that on an angle. You see those scratches?
Yes.
Okay, those are very big and they look like they're deep. Obviously, those are not going to come out. We're going to look at all the rest of the windows and see if this is all the scratches there are. If I'm going to use the big scraper to remove all of this overspray for you, there is a scratch waiver I will need you to sign. But let's take a look at the rest of them and see how many we're dealing with. Okay, this way we can actually write it on there.
What about this area? Is this going to be a problem?
Yeah, this actually will be an issue. Basically because I can't open the window without it hitting it. Especially over here where the window is only going to open so far. I can do the inside of it and everything without an issue, but we would probably have to move this out of the way.
No, I don't think my husband's going to want me to move his desk. So why don't you just get in there and do the best job?
All right, just do the best I can without moving anything.
Yeah, do not move anything.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's take a look at them, see if we see any more scratches.
You're going to be able to get all those cobwebs out there.
Yes, I will get those out. We're going to, are these some of the screens you want done?
Yes.
Okay, here's another breech seal. Okay, I can see it. All right, what else we have here too? You have got mineral deposits or hard water stains. Can you see all those little spots?
Yeah.
Okay, those are also not going to come off with just conventional washing.
Well, then how are you going to clean that if you don't use conventional?
Okay, well what I can do is there is a solution that we can use on these to get the hard water stains off. The reason I'm not recommending it is because of the fact that the seal is already bad. Okay, the window is not going to look right no matter what we do to it.
Okay.
So that's kind of your choice. If you want, we can use a restoration chemical. It does cost extra. It costs $5 per plate for us to use that chemical to get these marks off, these spots.
Really?
Yeah, the good part about it is if it doesn't work, and sometimes it doesn't, we don't charge you anything. If it works, that's when we charge you per pane, and that's your choice if you want to do it or not. You can always wait until I do it, and then make your decision later if you want me to do it.
Why don't we do that? Let's wait and see.
Okay.
Hey, do you guys do mirrors too?
Sure.
Can you do my mirrors?
Absolutely.
And how much extra is that?
I'll take care of it for you. If you would, just anything personal, if you just want to move that out of the way for me, okay, and then I can just take care of it, not a problem.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay, great.
I have a question. Can you guys do my ceiling fans?
Sure.
Okay, because I have that one over there too.
Okay, so here's the scratch waiver. What I'm going to need is for you to just sign stating that you understand that the windows are scratched. In fact, we'll even put, we have 1, 2, you have 3 of them that are scratched. So you can just write on there 3 windows that are scratched, and I just need you to sign right here. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me gear up and give me a couple minutes. I'll be right back and we'll get busy, okay?
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Great. We met with the customer and we're ready to get busy doing the job. You have a tool belt. You always want to wear a tool belt. Helps contain your tools and you still have the freedom of your hands. Now this house is all basically 1/1s. There's no little tiny windows, so when selecting tools I'm going to use my 13 on this one along with the 13-inch scrubber. The scrubber, you want to get the scrubber wet and then just put a line of soap right onto the scrubber. Not a lot, just a little bit. Put it back into the water and mix it up. That's what's going to help get you through this whole job without having to come back out here. Okay, I'm using a bucket on a belt. They call this a bucket on a belt for that exact reason. It is a bucket that you carry with you. You can put water into this to avoid you having to come back out too many times, to get more water. So I like to use just a cup. I like to pour a little bit of water in here, no more than a couple inches. This way, when you have your wand, I like to put my wand into my bucket on a belt like this. This prevents it from going too far in. If you look at the back of it, it's cut out so that this technically will fit right into it. I like to do it like this so it avoids this going in too far and water coming out and dripping all over the place. Same thing with your squeegee when it comes to this bucket on a belt. Obviously this is rubber. If you put it in like this, it's going to be constantly rubbing up against this. It's going to damage the rubber. Put it in backwards like that. Now you want to gear up. You're going to use a Textronics cloth on the glass, just on the edges. Now in this particular case, she has overspray. She also has mineral deposits on the glass, which she's not sure if she wants us to use the CC550 to attempt to remove it. We do charge extra to use the CC550. So we're gonna have to take our big scraper and we're gonna have to put a blade in it for this one. Remember, those scraper blades are extremely sharp. Okay, so we're gonna get a fresh blade out of our pack here. In this package of blades, you just wanna use your fingernail to just slide the blade out initially. Grab it. Make sure you only have one blade. Sometimes you might get two of them. And again, like we talked about, put this on, lock it into those little indents right there, and then slide it back into the handle all the way to the end. Put your cover on it. Now, as you can see here, I have a little pouch. This pouch I use for my sill brush. Same thing with these type of shorts. I could very easily just take this brush and keep it in my pocket right here so that I can reach right in and grab it. I kind of like to use this bag, and then my scraper, I put it in my loop right here. Now, because we're going inside first, we want our towels. These blue towels right here are really good when it comes to detailing frames. Okay, I like to use it on the glass as well, but I like to do what I call getting loaded up, where I'll put one in my back pocket. I'll take another one, stick it in here, and then this one I'm going to keep alongside of my Textronics cloth right here. Then we have our cut down towels. Now these are basically going to be used for cleaning the frame and wiping the framework down. So I put this one right here. I like to take an extra one, and I like to fold it like this, and I like to put it underneath my bucket on a belt. This way, when I'm drawing it, a lot of times water will come down. Okay, we don't want to drip water into the customer's house on the floor. We also take a full-size towel as a drop cloth. What you don't want, you really don't want to take something like this inside of the customer's house. Okay, it doesn't look good. It's all stained with bleach. But you can tear this up and use it as smaller ones. Use a decent looking towel. Again, make a good impression. Okay.
Hey.
All right, I'm ready.
Can you get this off of here too? I just noticed that. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Oh, and another thing, Bill,
Yes.
You don't have to keep ringing the doorbell. When you need to come down in, just come on inside.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, let me just throw this down. Okay, so I'm just going to go through the house and do my thing.
Okay.
And I'll touch base with you as soon as I'm ready, okay?
Wonderful. Thank you
Great,
very much.
thanks. Okay, so we're going to have your drop cloth. Put this down right here. You don't want to get anything onto the customer's floor. Now, oh, Miss Fox,
Yeah.
you said you had some Celeste screens you wanted cleaned as well?
Yeah, these two over here, and then there's two more here in the living room.
Okay, great. We're going to open these up. I don't know if you can see this, but there's cobwebs inside, and there's a lot of dirt right here in the sill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my wand initially and just get this one off, and then take this one. I'm going to go to my sill brush. Anything that is in the sill, even all of this dirt, you want to wipe the entire window frame down for the customer. Always have your drop cloth, and when you brush these sills out, always try to get the dirt to go outside the window. Do not let it come into the house. Same thing with the cobwebs. Also look at the track. If there's stuff in the track, use your brush. It'll pull it right out. Brush it out real good. And again, try to keep as much of it to go outside the house as possible. Even in here, the carpets aren't white, but still, you don't want to bring dirt into the customer's house. You're here to clean, not to make it dirty. And then I kind of like to blow on it a little bit and get the dirt to come out of the cracks. Okay, that's about the best I can do with the brush. Now I'm gonna go back to my wand. Because it's wet, I'm gonna wet the track right up the edge, as much of it as I can, and then even the inside of the sill right here. If you use the wand, it will grab the dirt and it'll stick right to the wand, and then it'll go right back into your bucket on a belt, so that you don't have to worry about it going anywhere into the customer's house. We're gonna wipe this down before we even clean the window. Same thing with the track in here. We're gonna wipe it, wipe the sides, make sure you're not leaving anything behind. And you're not always going to be able to get these perfect, but you want to do the best that you can on it, obviously, to do a good job. So that one's clean. We're gonna close it. Now this one has an automatic lock. Normally the locks for the window is gonna be up here. Whenever you open a window, make sure you lock it. Do not leave the customer's house and leave all the windows open. Make sure you lock them. Every window that you clean, you have to clean the sill. Use your sill brush. If you're doing screens, remove the screens. A lot of times the screens come out from the inside, depending upon what type of windows they are. We'll start with this one, just wetting it. Now when it comes to the scraper, this one, obviously she has some overspray. If you touch the window like this, now I can feel the overspray on my finger. I can just feel it. So this one, I'm basically going to do the whole window. I'm gonna take this towel and throw it down right on top of the sill. Go for the scraper. Be very precise when you have to use this scraper. When you use this scraper on a window, it should completely clear it. Sometimes the scraper will not sit flat on the glass. If you notice that, that could be a problem, but be very precise with this. You want to scrape every inch of it and do it carefully. You don't have to bear down on it, okay? Just very lightly go across it. It's going to take anything that's on there, it's going to take it right off. Once you scrape it, put your cover back on, wipe it off so that it's not dripping water. Cover it, put it back, go back for your wand, wet the window again. Now this is when we're going to detail the framework for her. So go back for your towel, get it a little wet, and just wipe the framework down, okay, from top to bottom. If you see any cobwebs, any dirt, anything like that, try to get it off. So we're going to wipe it all the way down. Okay, now we're going to wet it one more time. What I like to do when I'm squeegeeing a window, as soon as you pull this from your bucket on a belt, it's going to have water on it. It's going to want to drip. So as soon as you pull it, have your towel right there to grab it. Put it right on the window. Keep your towel right below it. Go corner to corner with this. You don't have to wipe it again, but you still see it's dripping water. This is where your drop cloth is crucial. Go right to the next window. Okay, pull both of them. Now you can wipe it, put it back. Now use your towel to clean up. Wipe it all down. And be very precise with your towel. You don't want to take this towel that you've been cleaning the framework with and touch the window with it, okay? You don't want to do that. Use your finger. Be very precise with the towel. Just wipe the framework where you've got it all wet. Take your towel, put it away. Now you're going to go to your blue rag. I like going to this one when I'm right up against the framework. Just wipe it. You should only have to wipe it once. Don't try to wipe it multiple times. Just one time, wherever you have water, is the only time you're going to use this rag. Now I have another spot over here that's directly on the glass. I'm going to use my Textronics cloth on this. This will not leave any marks on the glass whatsoever. But always keep this one very clean and only use it to touch the glass. Do not use this on the framework or any place else, okay? Just the glass. Now, for this situation, we're gonna pick up this thing. If it's got dirt and stuff on it, you're gonna wanna go to the front door, shake it out. Don't just pick it up and just let it fall down. That's gonna defeat the purpose. Because this is a nicely finished desk, I'm going to use this just to cover it. She doesn't want us to move this, so we're just going to do the insides of the windows for her. We want to make sure, if I can't cover all of this, this is where your extra towels are going to be crucial. Okay, so you have this extra towel here. You can take this towel out and you can cover it. Okay, so by coming in fully loaded, as I call it, you want to avoid going back outside as many times as possible. The more stuff you have with you to take care of any situation, this is also why it's good to go into the house, because you can walk around it, and I could clearly see with this particular house, I did not need a step ladder. There's no cathedral work. I didn't need anything except my towels, my tools, and I can do all of this glass. I won't even have to go back out for water because of my bucket on a belt. So we're gonna do these real quick for her, just on the inside. Use your towel, drawing your wand again. Hold the wand, hold the towel in your hand. Do not drip water anywhere. You want to just have the water on the window. That's the only place you want it. Go to the squeegee. Like I said, it's going to drip water. Hold on to your towel. In this case, I've got this obstructing me, so I'm going to just do it half at a time. Just go up here as far as I can reach. Come down. And then I'm going to stop right there. Use the towel. Go around that obstruction, come back over to this side, pull it. Now we'll do this top as well, because we're standing right here. And then we're not going to move. We're going to do the bottoms as well. A little difficult here because this desk is in the way, but just be careful. It's not that difficult. Same thing here. We're going to do half of it. Now I'm going to move over. Do the other half. Again, towel. Put this back in your tool holder. Now with your towel, wipe the frame. Okay, and again, use your finger. Just wipe the framework. Do not touch the glass with this towel. Wipe underneath it. And be very careful when you're reaching over. Okay, put your towel away. Go to your blue rag for the frame. Okay, I didn't leave any water on the center of the glass, so I'm not going to use my Textronics because I'm just using the blue one around the framework. Okay, so again, do not forget your drop cloth. Always put it down before you start. Miss Fox has only wanted a few select screens done. This one in particular has got a lot of cobwebs on it. It is dirty. Most of the screens nowadays, you have to take them out from the inside. The screens are usually dirty. Do not set it down on the customer's carpeting. Don't lean them up against the wall. Okay, we're going to hold this one literally. I'm going to put this back in. I'm going to put it right here and pull the other screen. Take the screens, run them right outside. As soon as we finish doing what we're doing on the inside, we're going to wash the screens real quick. And then we're going to work the outsides and we're going to get this job done. Okay, we're going to do this one. Again, open the window. You always have to open the window to clean the sill. That is not optional, it is part of the service. Get your brush, look at it, brush out the track, especially if there's any cobwebs, any kind of insect eggs, dirt obviously. And you want to get this brush, you want to get it right inside of the sill. Especially in the corners. You can never get this perfect just because of the simple fact that because it's in a corner, you cannot really get your finger in there. So the brush is priceless. Get it as far in there as you can. Sometimes it takes multiple strokes to get some of that dirt out of those cracks. And even sometimes when you spend it seems like a lot of time just cleaning the sill, a lot of times the customer still will point out the fact that it's not clean. So again, I'm going to take out my wand and I'm going to use this to wet it and to literally wash it. And make sure you wash it because that's important. Put the wand back, use your towel. Stick it right into that crack. Wipe it as good as you can. Okay, so we got the sills cleaned. Wiped all the framework down. We're going to do this one and this one real quick. Okay, so we're going to do this one more time. Like I said, we are authorized to use the scraper here. Oh boy. Like I said, touch the window. You can feel the overspray. Pull your scraper. very carefully. You don't have to bear down with this scraper, okay? Very, very carefully we'll remove any paint that is on there, top to bottom. And again, don't be in too big of a hurry. The scraper is very dangerous. It can cut you very easily. You're using soap and water. It's easy enough to drop these things. This thing is so light, I can't even reiterate enough how dangerous the scraper is. Put it back. Wet the window one more time. Up and down. Use your towel. Squeegee the window. Very precise with your towel on your finger as you're wiping these down. Always do the bases where all the water has come down. Always do that first, then go to your Hux towel. Only touch the glass with your Textronics. Don't use it on the framework because there's still dirt on it. Use your Hux towel on that. This towel, this Textronics cloth right here, keep it dry, keep it clean. It'll work beautifully for you. So we use the Hux on the edges again. Obviously you're looking at it to see if you possibly missed anything. If you did, this little single edge blade is really a nice tool to have. Okay, so this looks good. Little spot on the glass. Use the Textronic on it. Same thing with down here. Every time you touch the framework and you're touching the glass with this, keep moving your finger so that you have a clean spot every time you're touching it. And that will minimize any marks that you might be leaving. If this rag gets wet and dirty, and it will, and you'll see it, these windows, she obviously keeps a very clean house. The framework is not that dirty. A lot of times when I'm using these, this rag will be full of black spots, a lot of dirt, and it gets wet. Use a fresh one if it's getting wet. Don't keep using a dirty one, because every time you touch it, you're gonna leave marks on it, and it's not gonna look right. So let's do this one right here, then we're gonna move on. I really like doing picture windows. The bigger they are, the more fun they actually are. So, as you learn to actually scrub a window by twisting it like this is kind of what is helping you to clean it. Okay, and even, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a spot right there. I can feel that this has got overspray all over it. And always when you're wetting the window, make sure you're getting every inch of it, because any spot that you miss, like if I missed this much of this window, even though I'm still going to come down with it, it's not going to clean it right. It will stand out. Make sure you catch every inch of it. Always start, go up the corner, come across it, come down into the center. If you miss a spot like that, just go back. As long as the rubber is still wet, you can go back over dry glass, but you don't want to make a habit of it. If this window was hot and if it was in the sun, you really don't want to go back over it with the rubber. Always the glass needs to be wet. The soap is basically there to make the squeegee slide to make your job easier. Again, with your finger, be very precise. Clean up the mess that you put down, and you can see we have a drop cloth. Any of the splatter is going to hit the drop cloth. It's not going to hit the customer's carpet. Go to your Hux rag. Now we're going to get this part of the framework. And these Hux rags are great because they won't leave marks on the glass, but the whole difference is, and let me make sure I explain this, if you start using this on these edges, it's going to get it dirty, it's going to get it wet. If you decide later to touch the glass with it, you'll leave a mark. Use these when it comes to detailing the framework, getting the excess off. And again, every time you move and you stop, move your finger to a clean part of the rag. Come back down. Even across the bottom, you're going to want to use this across the bottom lip because you touched it with the other towel. As long as you use this on it, it's going to look fine. I don't see anything that I missed, so we're going to move on. Okay, now we're going to clean the screens. With the screens, you're just going to want to take it, put it down flat onto the concrete. Take your wand, put it into the water, and just go over it. We want to use a little more soap than that. So, and we always use Dawn soap, okay? Dawn works the best. on just about everything. A little soap, get it wet again, go over the screen, make sure you hit the edge of the screen as well, flip it over, hit the back side of it. And screens are very delicate, so handle them with care. Always put them on a flat surface. Don't try to keep it standing up like this and do it. Put it down flat. Water. This is about the, a lot of times screens don't always come out as clean as we would like them to, but if you think about it, most screens are pretty old. As long as you're washing it, it's going to be fine. I've never had anybody complain about my screen cleaning technique. And then we're going to get the hose. Okay, so when you wash the hose, you want to rinse it down so you got all the soap is gone from it. Do it from both sides. This way, anything that might be sticking to the screen should come out if you do it like this. Do this one. The reason we like to lay the screens down flat, I don't know if you can see it here, but this screen is actually starting to develop holes in it. You lay it down flat so that you're not putting any excessive pressure on it. Okay, once you got them cleaned, the hose off, you're going to take the screens. It's kind of good to just give them a little shake, let the water come out of them. Take them, put them on an angle like this. All you got to do is let them sit like that for just a few minutes. We still obviously need to do the outsides of the windows. So if you clean all the screens before you're done, don't wait till the end of the job. Do the screens. Once you finish the insides, come outside. Do the screens immediately. Then start doing the outsides of the windows. By the time you're done with the windows, these are going to be dry. You're literally just going to take your towel, pick the screen up, and it should be pretty dry. Wipe it like this. All four corners. Very lightly, you're going to do this. And the purpose for putting the screen on the angle like this is because all the water is going to come from all the edges. It's all going to come down to the corner and it'll just drip out. As you can see, it's still dripping out. You don't want to take a dripping screen back into a customer's house. Because we are almost done with this. This way we can try to get out of here and get to our next job on time. I've been watching the time in between. I still have 30 minutes. My next job is only 10 miles away. Shouldn't take me more than 10 minutes to drive there. If you're more than 15 minutes early to a job, you want to just call the customer, I'm almost there. If you're going to be more than 15 minutes late, make sure you call the customer beforehand. Don't wait until after the scheduled time because people are sitting there waiting for you. Be punctual, be polite, do the best you can. Okay, Ms. Fox, we're all set, and I got your invoice here.
Okay.
You can write a check or you could use a credit card if you'd like. And I just need you to sign on the bottom indicating that you're happy with the job. And I will give you a copy of this.
Okay.
Did you want to write a check?
Yeah, I'll write you guys a check.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Let me just mark the check number on here. Okay,
Wonderful.
that's for you.
Okay,
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your business.
Yeah, no, thank you. You guys did a really great job.
Okay, all right, so I'm going to pack up and we're out here. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You have a good day,
Bill.
okay?
Thank you.